As you know, I've been trying to review every Gorillaz music video sort of in order, and I'm not actually sure with 19200. How do you 2000? How do you say that? It's like 19 2000. Like, is it 19 hyphen or slash? I've noticed sometimes it's spelled differently. Very confusing. Also confusing that there was a remix of this as well, which was the Soulchild remix, which also makes this confusing. But with Gorillaz 19 2000, this is sort of the second biggest single. I would say it's considered the second single for the most part, and it did get more, I wouldn't say as much play as Clint Eastwood, but a fair amount of play. I think because of it's a fun song. I think you kind of forget about it, unfortunately, because I was listening to it a lot the past 2 days. It was like, it's such a like cool like to the bop. It's like that constant like rhythmic version of it, the original version, and I really like that. I like the idea of them just driving. They're sort of driving on a highway that's like kind of, it's like one of those tracks you see in car commercials where it's like the Chevrolet owns this like car, this road that just goes in a circle or something. If you saw Ford v Ferrari, they had one of those and stuff. So it sort of reminded me of one of those, but it was like a highway because there's no one else on this road. They're just sort of, they get in this car and then they start driving, and it kind of gives it a cool vibe. I also like stylo a lot too. I like watching the Gorillaz drive for some reason, but it's just like them looking cool driving. You see 2D singing, you have Murdoch driving, Russell in the back looking cool in a hoodie, and Noodle doing the chorus. And I don't know what this song means at all, but I just like, it's kind of a fun animated adventure of them driving around. You see them, kind of see some stuff like singing, going on the loop of the highway, seeing a moose that they shoot missiles at for no reason, having various references to movies and stuff in the exits they can go in, deciding not to go to a church because the Gorillaz don't have any denomination of religion. It's a fun video. This is also directed by Jamie Hewlett and Peter Candlin, who also did Clint Eastwood. It's interesting because Rock the House feel like, if you look at it, that looks more like a follow-up to Clint Eastwood, whereas this is sort of its own thing, which I think showed the versatility of the group, especially if you, at the time when I saw this felt to me like the third single, and I'm very confused on how Tomorrow Comes the Day falls in line with any of this, really, but it really felt like the third single. I think for most people it was the second single. Actually, I learned it was a single, which was a single on cassette, which was like dirt cheap if you could get them, especially this time. And it went to #1 in New Zealand. It showed the versatility of the group, that they could have kind of different kinds of videos, and that this was just like them singing. It doesn't have Del the Funky Homo Sapien or anything like that. The mix of CG and 2D animation in this, like the CG car, you could see the CG car in various other parts, but at the beginning where they just recreate the album cover and stuff like that, that car they have in it looks like something you'd buy for action figures, specifically in the 90s. The other thing with this was the Soulchild remix. I don't like that as much. I've seen certain people in the chat tonight like it more. If you're wondering about this, there is the same music video with the Soulchild remix. It is re-edited to fit that. If you didn't know, if you do anything with audio and editing, if you even do a different voiceover, if you do a remix of a song, you can't really place it in the same way. Even if you think you can, you really do need to re-edit it. And they did do that with that. It's shorter than the music video. I don't particularly like it as much. MTV would play both. I've heard people say they didn't. I saw both on MTV. MTV played this a fair amount, actually, which was cool because it's like kind of fun video. I like the imagery also of the monkey and its tail thing. It's a fun kind of weird music video. I don't know if I really understand like what the point is of it, but maybe there's not a point. It's just watching them have fun. I mean, what's the point of most music videos? But watching them just sort of drive around, do loop-de-loops, and, shoot missiles at a moose. Like, what else do you want in life, really? It's just a fun kind of sing-songy type of song, and has a cool remix. And this song probably got played for longer because the remix was in commercials. They use it in all sorts of stuff. The one thing I notice people don't talk about now as I was someone who was older and was listening to stuff, the Gorillaz, like, they used the music in Adult Swim bumpers, they used it in promos for TV and stuff like that, much like how Moby's album did and a Beck album, Midnight Vultures, did as well. At the time, you could actually make as much money off your album selling your songs to advertising as you did off singles and stuff, which Moby did very well with Play. And I remember reading Gorillaz did a little bit through this, and I remember this was one of the songs. Rock the House was another. There was a couple that you kept hearing in commercials, and particularly the Soulchild remix, which apparently they made specifically so they knew they'd have a hit song. Supposedly, they asked that guy to make the remix, so they knew they'd have a hit off of it. So this was really designed to be a hit single. It, for the most part, was. It hit the top 40 in America, which I didn't know. I didn't know it was that successful. Apparently, this album, single-wise, with a couple of singles, was very successful. But it's a good fucking album. Like, why wouldn't it be? And I think this song illustrates, like, how they're ready to be kind of cool alternative hit makers. I think that's the one interesting thing is, like, this was not a time where hit alternative bands were having hit singles, and you know, you have Damon Albarn doing that with, like, this funky hip hop fusion cartoon thing, and I think 2000, I guess, did that really well. It's just like a fun, awesome kind of jam of a song. Kind of reminds me how many awesome jams the Gorillaz really have, because this is just like a second single kind of thing. It's the kind of single that's fun and loose and you sometimes forget about, but I enjoyed watching this video several times. Like, it I don't have as many memories attached to this one, and I think maybe as I'm reviewing these you'll see I'm less nostalgic, because this was, like, for so long ago. I was, like, in high school, and I remember feeling cool having this album. Like, this is maybe one of the last albums I felt really cool having in my life. Actually, I would say the next Gorillaz album too. Man, Gorillaz make me feel cool, I guess. And I just remember blasting this with the rest of the album. And I actually do remember driving as a teenager, blasting this song. And it's an incredible feeling. And this is a fun pop song. And I think it illustrates what's so great about it, because it's like, I don't know what any of this means, but I just know it's a lot of fun. So